Hi guys! Today I'm going to speak to you about Urdhva Dhanurasana, also known as upward facing bow or wheel pose. In the spirit of Kundalini Shakti, the feminine energy, we'll say she's a shape which goes way back within the Kundalini and Tantra traditions, and though not so much in the Hatha texts, she is a fixture in that type of yoga today as well. She is the bridge that connects all seven chakras, which is why she's also called Chakrasana. Anita Judith refers to this bridge as the rainbow bridge, referencing the beautiful colors of all of the chakras. And we'll go into that a bit more in terms of the chakra connection later. But for now, I wanted to tell you about my personal journey with this pose. My relationship with my back is peppered with injury and pain, mainly through a couple of car accidents in my 20s and a nerve cluster in my 30s. And I really came to my daily at home practice because of this physical element, but soon realized that my back pain flare ups were deeply connected to how I was feeling about myself at the time and the limitations that were suddenly being placed on my body because of them. So, wheel came into my practice because I wanted to make my back strong. And it's taken 6 years to develop, still developing, always will be developing. But as that's happened, my back has gotten stronger and I've gotten stronger. And at first, I felt my torso floating, disconnected, and uncontrolled when I was up in the bed. And there was this like frustration and sadness and not feeling connected to my own self and my own truths, which really came out of my attitude towards this shape. And now, because I've stuck with my practice and in fact with myself, if you look at it that way, I've gotten stronger and more able to feel the muscular and energetic support throughout the entire bridge of my body, from the soles of my feet up and over the top of my torso and down to the crown of my head and my hands. And how to describe it, it's like a clear current of energy that flows through all the points in the pose. And I feel as if I can support myself fully without any aid, which is so empowering and really just a huge lesson learned. And emotionally, it has served me well in the last 6 months in particular because, like us all, I've had no choice but to open myself up to change, which I mirror physically in wheel. And this takes us nicely into the chakra element of the pose. And as we know from before, the pose is also called Chakrasana. It is the chakra opening pose and is said to open all seven chakras in one fell swoop. So the minute you have that glorious, like popping up in sensation, you are awakening the energy along the spine and even shifting your consciousness. And chakra also means wheel and can symbolize the wheels of energy or chakras posted along the spine from tailbone to top of the head. And I like to think of it as, you know, the dominant emotions that you feel when going into this pose, such as ease or fear, happiness or frustration, confidence or timidity, they can correspond with the chakras they are associated with, right? So if you're feeling afraid of opening up emotionally in life, opening your heart center via wheel might help with this. Or if you're feeling insecure in life, doing the same with your solar plexus chakra might give you some confidence. And the spine is the physical manifestation of the energetic chakras sitting along it. And with Chakrasana, pushing it towards the front body and up to the sky, like literally just like, wow, the chakras are through breathing being awakened yet contained in this closed chain of energy. So what you've done is essentially created a safe place for yourself to cultivate balance between all seven chakras, which might then balance you mentally, physically, or even spiritually. And it's for this reason that we call these Chakrasana hands. I know I'm being silly, but literally it is like these are the shape of your hands that they take when they go into the ground and lift you up. So there we go. Now I thought I'd take us into the kind of way that I get into the pose, the way that I approached it when I was a beginner, and the way that, so in some ways, that I was taught it, but most importantly, the way that it fits into my personal practice. So I think that's a great thing when we can have our own relationship with something and have our time with it and take it personally. So, first, I've always found that when working in advanced poses like this, or indeed any pose, bringing a vision of serenity into your mind's eye can encourage this, calm as you head into that very challenging situation. And just allow me a small bit of story time as I tell you about the wheel on the lake. So, as I'm lying there on the floor, I take myself out of myself and step into that meditational state of the observer. And I'm standing on the bank of this big, beautiful, still lake in the night, seeing myself in the shape on the lake with the moonlight shining down on the water like silver. It's just all very luminescent. And finally seeing the reflection of my body underneath my physical self, making a circle on the surface like a wheel. And this can work in a pure manifestation kind of way where, I see the shape, I am the shape, but it can also symbolize a unity with myself. So when I look down to the ground in the pose, I am in fact looking into the eyes of that energetic self in my reflection. And I'm noticing that I've created this support and balance for myself, which is a very comforting feeling to have to set me up for when I'm actually up there. So, into kind of the physical movement part of this little chat, just going to take us through some action points and demo the pose, hopefully successfully. So, now that I've done my visualization exercise, I arrive at this idea of front body warm, back body strong, because that's how I always feel right in this shape. So in order to get there, part of the way, you can do a prep pose practice. For example, all bow variations with bow being the actual opposite of wheel. So it's upward facing bow. It's the ideal way for me to warm up because it warms up the same parts of the body and it's more stabilizing because it's belly down and it's on the floor. So also we can look at cobra, wild thing, side plank, down dog, hero, anything that incorporates a back bend or upper body strengthening work, right? So I'm actually going to turn around. I feel weird turning that other way. So there's so many cues into this pose that I thought I'd just show you the ones that I responded to as a beginner, the ones that have created my own process over the years, and which achieve a goal of kind of just getting you up there. And once you're up, you gain an immediate confidence, even if it's just a little bit. And that's all you need to grow, right? So first, I'm going to establish my center line and the front body warmth I was talking about by doing a muscular awareness body scan, okay? And that starts with one of the key elements, which is the placement of the feet and the knees. Both got to be hips width distance apart. Both are facing straight forward towards the bottom of your mat. And this can, if for instance, if the knees are splaying out, the feet are splaying out, it can create this rigid tightness or locking up sensation in your lower back, causing pain and collapse. So I spend some time making sure my feet are rooted first via the inner heel and inner toe mound, and then in the outer parts of the foot. Then lift my toes, which starts this kind of chain of engagement of my front body muscles. So calves, thighs, core, heart, neck, crown, kind of like those chakras we were talking about earlier. And by doing that, I've established the center line of support before I've even gotten up in. So the pelvis curls under and up, drawing the belly in, lifting the heart up, pushing the shoulder blades down the back, tucking the chin, neck is long, and I feel everything engaged. And what I like to do before I even start going up in as well is I just kind of like to come up into bridge for just a tick to make sure that like everything is aligned and working and I feel strong. So it's like lift your hips up slowly and like take the time to really tone all of these muscles in your front body. Yes, strong. Woohoo. So now I'm just going to go up in and I'm going to pay some homage to my teachers, Shanti, Ray, and Kylie. There are 3 cues that I learned in this course and that I love. Shanti would say to lift up your hands, elbows are still on the earth beside you, and then you're going to bring your hands out diagonally to the side towards the outer edges of the mat so that you're creating like this V. And already you're creating this kind of rotation, right, in your shoulders. Then Ray would say, put your hands up over your face and space them as if how they're going to be placed on the ground. So he would say probably hands outer shoulder width apart. Take a deep breath. Right now is about the time when I'll be doing that lovely wheel on the lake situation in my head, right? Then hands down by your ears. Just give them a little look. Hi guys, supporters. Then you would claw the ground with your fingertips to take the pressure out of your wrists and root your feet down and just get that muscle engagement in your front body. And now time for your strong back body to support up, right? So lift up. Woof. Okay. And then while I'm up here, if I can handle it for 3 to 4 breath cycles, I will concentrate on my final teacher cue, which is deploying the Kylie BAM or hip lift. So lift up and tone your belly, and then maybe straighten your arms a bit, shine your heart forward. And glorious breath in. Calm down. And dead bug pose. Tried everything, guys. This is the only thing that works in that second after I get down. So good. No abrupt shaking, just gentle shaking. Whew. That was awesome. So, come up. And I should also say as well, just because I couldn't do it when I was up there, but many teach a chakra scan using your Ujjayi breath. And this is a Kundalini thing, really, but they'll internally recite a mantra accompanied by breath work moving through all 7 chakras whilst in the bend, which is, it's hard for me because I still find it a tall order, as you can see, to stay up in the pose for more than 5 breath cycles. But it is a nice way to advance yourself in it if that's your thing. And I think that's it for me today. I'm done. I'm out of breath. I've super enjoyed this, but thank you guys for letting me take you on this pose journey. And I hope it encourages you to find that special pose in your life that you can have a true personal connection with, like I did. And just thank you for all of you for the course and for being there for me and us being there for each other. Namaste.